Bushu, the kanji makers, from images to shapes. 皆さんこんにちは。Williams Noriko です。Hello everyone, I'm Noriko Williams, the author of this video clip series. This is a collection of 90 video clips on Kanji Bushu for Japanese students who are on the pre-intermediate level and beyond. Today, I am very pleased to introduce our sensei to you. He is a longtime friend of mine and our students in our classroom. He will talk about a very important role that Bushu play in kanji and explain how this video clip series help your kanji study. Here's our sensei. Our sensei, よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much, William Sensei. I'm pleased to be here today. Bushu study may be new to many of you. You may be wondering, what are Bushu? Why do I need to study Bushu? Where did Bushu come from? Or how does an origin-based explanation of Bushu work? And so on. These are all good questions, so I'll start with answering them. Then I will explain about the contents of this video clip series. Let's begin. First, what are Bushu? Bushu are recurring components that make up kanji. Different parts of old kanji were reused many times to create new kanji. Bushu generally give meaning to kanji, while other components may give pronunciation. Bushu are a 2,000-year-old method of classifying kanji by their components. It has been used as a reference index since then. Bu means section, and shu means head, and in English it's called a section header. We also call these fragments of kanji radicals in English, in the tradition of Latin study. You might be wondering, why should we pay attention to Bushu? First, Bushu generally have a simpler shape and are easier to learn. Second, studying Bushu gives you an efficient way to expand your kanji knowledge because they appear in many kanji. Third, because the relationship between the shape of the Bushu and the meaning remains unchanged, studying Bushu helps you grasp the meaning of a kanji quickly and recall it better.
Excuse me for my interruption, Aoru-sensei. Konnichiwa, I'm Ginko, a student of Aoru-sensei. There is one more important reason for us to study Bushu. When you use an electronic dictionary or a kanji search site on the internet, such as jisho.org, knowing a shape of Bushu or radical is very useful.
Now let's talk about where Bushu come from. Bushu shapes originally came from ancient pictographs or images of meaning. In fact, not only Bushu but also all kanji originally came from images of meaning that ancient Chinese people had. How do we know that the Bushu that we use now really came from the pictures of meaning used a long time ago? That's a good question. It's a fascinating story. Since the beginning of the 20th century, many archaeological excavations in China have unearthed artifacts of ancient times. Among them were artifacts that bore ancient writing on them. Now we know that various types of writing existed in ancient China, such as oracle bone writing, koukotubun, bronzeware writing, kimbun, and official seal writing, tanbun. They became the precursors to modern kanji. Let me show you just one example. This is a photo of a bronzeware object that was made to commemorate a giant soft-shell turtle that an ancient king had caught. His bravery was inscribed on the top. Let's take one character. The top meant many things collected in one place, signified by the horizontal bar under a roof. The bottom was a person, or people, kneeling humbly with their hands in front. Together, they meant people listening to their ruler's order. This is also an ancient shape, but of a later time. During the time after China was unified in the 3rd century BC, throughout the subsequent Han Dynasty, the writing system underwent drastic change. The lines became straighter and shorter. The newer, more regulated writing style is what we now know as kanji. Kanji in Japanese, Hanzi in Chinese, means the writing of the Kan or Han people. Because of simplification and standardization, now it is much harder for us to see the original meaning in kanji without being told the story. So, what William Sensei and her team did for you is found a way to help you visualize the connection between the meaning and the Bushu shape. They brought in the historical evidence, that is, ancient writing, to connect meaning and the Bushu shape, and added a simple drawing of the meaning that the ancient people must have used. For instance, This shape in the red box that means lack of something is explained like this. These in the blue boxes are what the ancient writing looked like. The two different forms both portrayed a person on his knees opening his mouth wide to inhale more air. Based on that, the simple image of the meaning shown in yellow was created for you. So, 3 different stages are shown in 3 color boxes. The image of the ancient meaning in yellow, the ancient writing in blue, and the Bushu shape the way we use it now in red. Having learned that this shape means to lack and that it comes from an open mouth, we can now begin connecting other kanji that have the same shape. Uta, a song or to sing, comes from a mouth wide open. Tsugi, next, came from a traveler resting to catch a deep breath for the next journey. And yoku, deep desire or greed, means wanting more with his mouth open. By the way, this bushu is called akubi yan. So, if you have ever wondered why seemingly unrelated kanji contain something similar, the mystery is now solved. Where in kanji do bushu appear? Each bushu appears at a set position. If bushu appears on the left side, it's called hen, or ben. This position is by far the most frequently used. If at the top, it's called kanmuri, a headdress. If on the right side, it's called tsukuri or zukuri. If bushu wraps around another component, it's called kamae or ngamae. Starting on the left side and extending along the bottom is nyo. Starting at the left side and hanging on the left is tare or dare. It is not essential to learn the names, but it is useful to know that its name will tell you where the position appears in the kanji. What did ancient people in China use to convey meaning? What were the sources of their images? They used what they had in their lives. In this Bushu study, the images sources are grouped into 7 categories: parts of body, posture, human habitats, nature, things and shapes, animals, and shapes from kanji. The first group is parts of the body, such as a hand, a backwards foot, a forward foot, eye, ear, heart, mouth, and other things that every person would have had. They are shown in the slides with the black and white triangle in the left corner. Various postures were also the source of images. This second group includes someone standing viewed from the side, someone sitting viewed from the side, someone using an eye, someone sitting with hands crossed in a graceful posture, meaning a woman, someone using their legs, which means a person in motion, someone stretching hands with their feet apart facing forward, someone flexing their arm muscles showing strength, and someone yawning or gasping for air, and someone pointing to the wrist with the finger, which means a little. They are shown in the slides with the red triangle in the corner. Ancient people used their surroundings, human habitats. A house, another house with one side open, a hole in the house, which means emptiness, crossroads, a foot going beyond the crossroad, which means to move forward, a pile of dirt for a boundary, rice paddies, a lot or boundary, an area with people, which is a village. The human habitats are shown in the slides with the gold triangle in the corner. Natural phenomena or natural habitat includes the sun, the moon, rain or something that falls from the sky, cracks in ice, a tree, grass or plants, flowing water or fluid, a mountain, a mound of soil, a fire, bamboo stalks with leaves, and a rice plant with crop. They are shown in the slides with the green triangle. Ancient people used things in shapes, including a knife or sword, a warrior's axe, a king's ornamental axe, a halberd, an arrow for battle, another axe, a plow, a sickbed, a wheel, a boat, a cowrie shell used for trade, and a sake jar. They are shown with the blue triangle in the corner. Animals, domesticated and wild, were part of their lives too. Animals such as a cow, a sheep, a horse, a pig or boar, a dog, fish, a bird, or a pair of wings of a bird, insects or worms, and so on are shown, using the purple triangle. When we think about the sources that were used to convey meaning, we get a glimpse of the life of ancient Chinese people. There's a lot in common with other civilizations. By knowing where a seemingly meaningless shape of Bushu or Kanji came from, the Kanji is no longer the mysterious product of a foreign civilization, but an image from a civilization to which we can all relate. Additionally, there are 3 more shapes added. These are generally the shapes that were adopted in new style kanji during the Japanese language reform as recent as 1946. The slides have a light green corner. Now let me talk about the slides themselves. Each video clip consists of 8 PowerPoint slides. The first slide is the title slide. Slide 2 gives you an overview of the Bushu, including the picture of the meaning, the current shape of Bushu in a red box, the name, the meaning, and a stroke order. A word of advice from me is that it is a good idea to firm up your stroke order now while you study these simpler shapes. In slide 3, on the left side, vertically, you see the types of the sources that the image came from. In the yellow box, you see the drawing of the image's meaning. In the blue boxes, you see the ancient writing. A brief explanation in English at the bottom will also help you too. In slide 4, red boxes to show the current shape or shapes are added. Some Bushu have reduced form to make space for other components. So, the 3 steps from image to ancient writing and finally to the current writing are here. Slide 5 gives you 3 kanji with example words that you are likely to learn or have already studied. The narration will read out the words in Japanese for you.
Excuse me for another interruption, Aru-sensei, but I would like to tell everyone that the sample kanji slides have been expanded a little. Now we can learn how each of the kanji came about, with a picture and an English explanation. We can also hear and see how we should pronounce the words correctly. It is easier to see how the sample kanji are connected to each other by having the same Bushu. Now back to Aru-sensei. Aru-sensei, dozo.
Slide 6 shows all other kanji from the list of 1,100 kanji that has all the educational kanji and about 90 more kanji. The small numbers are the reference number in William Sensei's book, if you wish to read more about each kanji. The top half, Group 1, shows the kanji that belong to the traditional category in any kanji dictionary. The bottom half, Group 2, are kanji that belong to other Bushu groups but contain the same shape. Kanji are classified into single Bushu Group 1s, but most kanji actually contain more than a single shape that are identical to Bushu shapes. Slide 7 gives you the summary. All the Bushu video clips are narrated in English and Japanese. And lastly, Slide 8 shows the production credits of this PowerPoint video clip series. 90 kinds of Bushu are discussed in this collection. In 2010, the Japanese government revised the list of Jōyō kanji, the commonly used kanji, and now there are 2,136 kanji on the Jōyō kanji list. Educational kanji remains unchanged. Among the kanji currently used in Japanese, there are a little over 200 Bushu, many of which appear only once. This series of 90 Bushu will give you a strong foundation to learn practically all the kanji used in the Japanese language. There are additional supporting materials on this site. You can download the 90 Bushu names, meaning, and sample kanji for your reference. The kanji in blue are those that belong to other Bushu groups but contain the same shape. You can easily find any Bushu that you are interested in. The table of the 90 Bushu arranged by stroke is also available. When you see a new kanji to study, you can find out the video clip number by looking up the number of the strokes in its Bushu. This is the table of kanji for the students who use an elementary level Japanese textbook called Genki. The kanji are arranged by the Bushu groups and the lesson numbers are also shown. For a quick review in classroom, these flashcards are also used. One is in the Kyokasho style and one is in the ancient forms for fun. This collection is an ongoing project that William Sensei is working on. Currently in progress are the slideshow videos entitled Discover Kanji Precursors in Modern Japan. You will see that the last ancient style, called ten style, is still very much in use and appreciated in the modern life of Japan in various areas. These videos also discuss several topics about current kanji shapes in the historical context. We hope that you'll enjoy these videos. Well, that'll be all for now. Thank you very much for your watching this video clip. It has been a real pleasure to be able to talk to you. William Sensei, her team, and I wish everyone a very enjoyable study of Japanese.
アウル先生、お疲れ様でした。
Thank you, Mom, if she makes you lunch to bring to school, to trade it off with the other kids and make some friends. Make some
Thank you for watching Bushu, the Kanji Maker's Introduction. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Good luck and sayonara.